How you brewing,
We
everyone?
are on time. Like
we were actually sitting at the desk,
kind of like waiting
early. Going, we've never been early before.
I was a little off with the coffee brewing.
We're probably not even live.
We were probably not even live. I was a little off with the coffee brewing. I was about 5 minutes early with the finishing of the brew. So we sat down. I'm getting everything ready, getting everything all set up, and I was kind of sitting there going, "We're early." That rarely happens. Hi, everybody. I'm drinking out of the Daily Brew mug. We've got a whole stack of them off camera.
They're just in a big stack.
Shipping begins. Well, packaging begins today. So some of you are going to start seeing your orders go from unfulfilled to fulfilled. So you're probably
some of you start getting shipping notifications.
Yeah, you'll probably get shipping notifications and stuff like that. We're going to try to do as few trips as possible to our post office. So you might see the label go shipping.
And maybe it doesn't move for
until
a day
like Thursday or Friday or something, because we're going to try to do as few trips as possible. Regardless, we're excited. So we figured it out. Yeah, exactly. Like Kim has one of the Starbucks "You Are Here" mugs. They're really popular. I think they still make them. Basically, the exact same amount of coffee goes in both of these mugs because that's a little bit wider. This is a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Does it look good? What?
Yeah, cool. All right.
I didn't mean it like that.
How did you mean it?
Yeah, cool.
Oh, but that's a good day already. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Daily Brew. Yeah, pretty sure. I had not a nightmare, but a dream this morning that I'd have to change the thumbnail of every Daily Brew because you couldn't tell what day of the week it was broadcast on because it's only numbered. So today is 37 and it has the date, May 5th. So Feliz Cinco de Mayo. But it was a nightmare because I was like, I have to go back and change everything to include the day of the week, Tuesday. And then I was like, oh, we'll just change the name to It's Blank. That's the name of the show is It's Blank, blank being the day of the week. This was my dreamscape this morning. This is while we're also getting a grocery delivery. Kim's outside, like, wiping everything down, making sure everything's good.
And Gus is like, what's going on, guys? What's going on?
Yeah, Gus is amped up right now. So hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Episode 37 of Daily Brew, our daily live stream for our GR crew, Patreon supporters. We appreciate you so much. And this has been great. This is our routine now. And we love it. Being able to sit down with everyone and check in, see how everyone's hanging in, and drinking some coffee in the process.
I thought I read that.
Did I miss something?
Oh, there it is. Isaac says, hey, everyone. This is my first Daily Brew. How is everyone? Welcome, Isaac. I'm going to go let our dog out.
Our dog is scratching at the door. But Isaac, yes, it's great to see you. We appreciate you. Appreciate you joining in on the Patreon side and checking out this Daily Brew live. We're going to do it every single day, as long as it takes. But yeah, Heather Reed also says, it's only Tuesday. I know, Heather. I know. We're able to, basically we have a beacon every week of Monday because Ginger Runner Live is every Monday. So on Mondays, it's a lot of work. Got to get prepared, get the show ready, go live. And then after that, it's like, wait, what day of the week? We just did Monday. So it's just Ginger Runner Live. It's not Friday. We always kind of go through that haze of what day it is. But Ingen, I think, kind of nails it with it's Threadnesser Day today. Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. Yes. Elena says, piece of happy news. I graduated with my master's this weekend.
Congrats, Elena.
We love good news.
Keep
bringing on the good news. And Elena, that's great news.
We also like talking about pet peeves.
That is what Kim chose as today's topic. If you tuned into Daily Brew on Sunday, we started going down. Sundays was a long episode, but we covered a ton. I had so much fun during Sunday's episode. We started talking about words that drive us crazy and pet peeves. And Kim challenged everyone, what are your pet peeves? And we talk about them on today's show. We did get a couple of responses from people.
The funny thing is I didn't really think of many pet peeves for myself, even though I know I have a long list. I actually started thinking about that this morning. I was like, oh yeah, what are my pet peeves?
I guess we haven't really put a lot of thought into it. We're kind of focused on the Tiger Claw show yesterday.
Yeah, it's just been it's been a busy couple days.
But I do. Jeff says, "Hey, Kim and Ethan, I just wanted to let you know that you are live." Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. I feel like we'll be able to talk through some of our comments from the previous Daily Brews post and find those pet peeves and stuff like that we have.
We also don't have to talk about pet peeves, but I thought it would be funny.
Oh, if you, we've got a show every day. We might as well. You challenge people on Sunday to bring it up. Let's talk about it today. But I think it'll be kind of fun and funny because I think some people had some good words that they don't like. One was it disrupt? We talked heavily about the word disrupt on Sunday's show and how it's just, oh man, it's like nails on a chalkboard. So we also asked what your words are that sort of fit into that realm that you were just kind of not liking. So we have a couple things that we can touch on today based off of our comments. Should we do it?
Yeah, we can get into it.
We're already into it.
I was going to say, if you weren't with us on Sunday, I was talking about, I hate it when people talk in their normal, like the normal way they talk. And they're like, yeah, I would like to order 2 croissants. I always look at them like they're an asshole.
Yeah. Today's a perfect example too. Just like, hey, I just really want to celebrate Tuesday because it's Cinco de Mayo. And I just want to make sure that everyone celebrates Cinco de Mayo together.
I think there's obviously you want to try and pronounce things how they're supposed to be pronounced. But there's
the I'm over pronouncing this to show you that I know. Like croissant is like the perfect one. If you're at a restaurant, look, hey, listen, listen.
Listen.
If you live in the United States and you go to a Starbucks and you're ordering your coffee and you order a croissant and you say croissant, you're probably an asshole. I get it. Like in France, I would feel terrible saying, hey, can I have a croissant? I totally get it. I feel like if you're in France and you're ordering just a delicious pastry that the chefs there spend hours making, you might want to say croissant. Or in Montreal, right? Quebec. So maybe even a really good bakery here in the United States. We lived near a really great bakery in Los Angeles, amazing bakery, whose croissants were some of the best I have ever tasted. They were so flaky and crunchy and just so good. I didn't find myself leaning into the croissant when ordering, but because it was LA and because it was a small kind of, I'm not going to say it was an exclusive bakery, but it was one of those neighborhood bakeries that celebs would find. And there was always there was always a line out the door, and you would see celebrities go in there and be like, I would like 2 almond croissants and I would like a baguette, please. So it's like, you can't have croissant and not say baguette, whatever. So this is all a pet peeve in addition to being the wordplay. Fun Tuesday.
I just thought of another thing that bugs me.
You want to save it?
No.
What is it?
Like if somebody's going into Starbucks or an establishment like that and they have like the tall grande venti situation and somebody is like, oh, I'll have a large pour over, and the person at the till is like, do you mean a venti?
You do mean a grande?
Grande.
Do they still do that?
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been into a Starbucks, to be completely honest with you. But I feel like I remember that taking place in the early uprising of Starbucks.
I think I remember hearing like stand-up routines about it and that sort of thing. I feel like at one point baristas were educated at Starbucks to educate the customers that when you come into a Starbucks and you order something that is a large or a medium or whatever, you say grande, you say venti, you stick with the Starbucks labeling. So I wonder if baristas are like coached to be the corrective type.
That's probably what it is.
I wonder if they're much more lax with it. Because I can't imagine corporate culture really like, that's just not a good look this day and age to have people like be corrected based off that. But what's it like going into a Starbucks? It's been a while.
Wing Taylor says here in BC, some people also pronounce ing like ink. Drives me nuts. Is that true?
Like if you're walking, it's walking?
I feel like I don't have that same experience, but maybe I'm a guilty party and I just don't see through it.
Tony Lorimer's in the chat. What's up, Tony? Mercy Buckets, says Yuha. New show idea. You're probably an asshole when. Yeah, we used to have a segment on Ginger Runner Live called, was it Runner Rants? Runner Rants, where we'd have our guests like talk about the thing that sort of bugs them so they'd have an opportunity to release it and get it out into the world. And I realized it just turned into like a bitch fest, like where we would just bitch about something. And I was like, oh man, this isn't the positivity that I'd hoped that the show would always provide. So we kind of leaned away from that. It was kind of one of those things I went, it's funny in premise, but it just is going to get negative. And it's going to be a lot of talk about people taking their dog shit bags and just throwing them on the side of the trail. That's basically what it turned into.
Yeah.
So we stopped doing that. That was like episode 100 or something that we stopped.
Another one of my big ones, which I mentioned on Sunday as well, is the windshield wipers.
Mm-hmm.
Drives me nuts.
Yep.
Like it actually makes me.
Yeah, that's a tiny little like pet peeve that every time our wipers, because it's a Subaru, they stop halfway. I don't get why.
I'll be like, can you just turn the car back on?
And I will. I'll turn it back on and I'll let them go. And then if I don't catch it, like turning the car off right at the right moment, I have the hardest time because I'm also a little OCD in that sense. I realize that I've used a phrase that every time I say it now, I'm like, oh man, just stop using it. Pivot. I feel like pivot is the word right now that.
But do you say it a lot?
I've been saying it more after COVID, purely because so many businesses have had to alter their direction.
Yeah.
And so I've been using like, oh, why aren't restaurants pivoting? Or this company totally pivoted and managed to make it work. Pivot has always been a very kind of corporate marketing speak along the lines of disrupt. And I've been using it more in the correct context, but I'm overusing it. And
it's also just a word that's out there a lot right now. So I don't think that's your fault.
But it's one of those where I know I use it and there's probably a handful of people that are like me that are like, oh man, stop using pivot. Same with lean in. So like you lean into something. I say
that too, and I use it like.
You probably use it because I use it a lot. Like really leaning into this idea of getting our fitness in our
I just
office.
meant like more leaning into my bottle of wine.
That's it. Yeah, no, perfect. Is pivot the new dovetail? Dovetail is that's just ours. That's our word.
That's your word.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't really use it before you.
I think I just was using it so much on Ginger Runner Live that it became a joke, right? It became a drinking game with the chat room that I would say dovetail to like bridge two segments of the show or thoughts on the show. And so the live viewers were like, I'm playing the drinking game where I'm going to drink every time Ethan says dovetail. Tony, I think you were a part of this. And it turned into a pretty legit drinking game until I caught wind of it and was like, let's turn it into hoodies. We made some hoodies and shirts and stuff. That's a joke.
Jeff in the chat room says, my pet peeve is the lack of mannerisms. Why is it so hard to say please, thank you, and excuse me? I would say another pet peeve I have, and it actually makes me a little ragey, is when I say hi to someone and they don't say hi back.
Like a stranger? Like while running?
A runner. Yeah.
Yeah, like going the opposite direction runner. I don't often say hello to other runners on the trail.
I say hi to everyone.
Kim does. Kim is like, this is one of the reasons why I love our relationship, and this is amazing, is when we run together, I'm usually the one that kind of locks in my own brain and like, I don't want to bug someone else on the trail. So I'm not really, I might like give them a nod or you can like, usually I try to read them from afar. And if they're going to be a receptive passerby, I might give them a wave or I might give them a, hey. Or if it's a trail runner, I usually am always like, what's going on? Because trail running community is small. And so I probably know who they are or they may know who we are, that sort of thing. But like typical runners on the sidewalk, I'm not always like, hello, doing the big thing. And sometimes you kind of want to be in your zone. Kim, on the other hand, is always saying hello.
I really like saying hi to older people because sometimes it's not expected and then it gets them to smile and it seems silly, but it's such like a small little thing that I'm like, maybe I brighten their day.
Yeah.
That's why I like saying hi to everyone. But when people don't say hi back, I'm just like, how dare you?
Yeah. And so if someone were to say hi to me, I always say hi back. So even if I'm not the one to initiate a hello, I will always reciprocate. So if someone's like, hello or hey, or gives me a wave, I'll always reciprocate unless I'm in the middle of a workout that I'm in a bad place. There's a very specific reason if I don't return like a wave or hello. That being said, now on runs,
That being said, that being said is part of the listen family. Anyways, that being said.
Well, okay, so that thought goes into the same thought in a way where they connect. Is that now when Kim and I are running together, if I'm in front or if Kim's in front, sometimes one person will say hello, and if the person doesn't say hello, like the second person usually says hello. So, if we're running past a runner the other way, I'll go, hello. And then Kim will go, hello. And if they don't say hello back to both of us, that's a full on. We turn around and just like, what are you doing? Two people just said hello to you. No response. Like, it's kind of one of those things.
Or like a little wave or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, where'd it go? Man,
Tony says, "Oh, I rarely reciprocate hellos because headphones." LOL.
But like, if I see, like, sometimes it'll just be a little, doot,
yeah, even
hi.
Just like a little,
or head nod, no smile. Nah, I mean, I guess if the people,
smile.
if somebody's
Smile
not wearing
more.
a mask or whatever, then it makes it a little bit different. But you can
That's
tell
true.
if somebody's smiling with their eyes. Yes.
I was going to say that Tony also lives in a part of the country where I would imagine your like bike paths and city trails and stuff that go through the major dense population areas are probably so packed with people that saying hello to everyone is annoying. Like there are so many people that at that point you're like, hello, hello, hello. I think we're talking specifically about
trails and like neighborhood runs.
Yeah, where you're not running into 10 people every 10 minutes. It's farther and fewer between. So I can totally understand how someone living in a dense city like that would just, one, it would be annoying to say hello all the time. And exhausting to reciprocate. So totally get it.
We had a really cute experience here a week or two ago. We were running around the neighborhood taking photos of like flowers and stuff that were popping up. And we'd stopped to look at these really cool tulips in a yard. And we were standing there looking at the tulips and kind of talking. And then an elderly person came to the window and they just like waved at us. And it was super cute. And I was like, I think we all made each other's day that day.
Yeah. We were looking at these tulips. I had never seen tulips like this.
We didn't wave back. No.
Just like, I had never seen tulips like this. They were the kind that have like spiky petals at the end. They kind of flare out like that. I had never really seen that. And I was like, oh, these are really cool. So we're standing in this front yard looking at these, not in the yard, but on the sidewalk looking at these flowers. And we kind of looked up at the window and there was an elderly person that had come up to the window and was just kind of waving. My first instinct was, oh, we're not touching your flowers. Like, we're so sorry. But then they were obviously like, thanking us for enjoying their garden. And we were just like, oh, thank you. And we had our masks up. So it was actually really difficult to like showcase. We're smiling, thank you. And like mouthing, we were basically going, thank you so much. It's your yard is beautiful. And I'm like, she can't even see my face. So it was just kind of like a wave and like thumbs up and your garden is great. It was an interesting moment.
It was really cute.
Angie says, I just got notified that my first 50 miler has been canceled. I expected it, but I'm still feeling a little crushed right now. Angie,
we're all there with you.
We're all in it together. Yeah. I know it sucks, and you probably still managed to get some training and all that stuff you've been looking forward to. Maybe it being held. If they cancel it, that's the right decision. It is. As race directors now, we're dealing with that same sort of like, it sucks to be the race hosts and not be able to host it. And
that's the thing too, is like, as much as runners are crushed, like we have had races that we are running canceled.
Yeah.
And as much as it's crushing, it's also crushing for the race director and their crew and their team to cancel the races too.
Yeah.
But you're allowed to be sad. Like, totally take the time. Yep. It's not, there's nothing wrong with being disappointed or sad.
Absolutely, Angie. Yeah. And guaranteed you'll find everyone in this comment section here in the live show will have some sort of similar experience. Kim's Lake Sonoma 50 was canceled. We had to cancel Tiger Claw. Yep. Multiple people in the chat room were going to run Lake Sonoma. But, you know, GR is going to be just around the corner, and we're going to up the challenge this year. So there might be some fun ways that you can get that training and put it to good use virtually, of course. But our goal is going to be to get as many people involved with GR this year as possible. to support small businesses and small creators. It should be a really good time. I have all the comments pulled up from Sunday's show. So again, with Daily Brew, we usually ask questions or talk about subjects. And if you are watching an archive version of this or you want to participate in tomorrow's conversation, you can jump into the comment section of today's post and just post there on the Patreon page. So from Sunday's post, we have a lot of comments regarding buzzwords that people dislike and pet peeves and stuff. So let's get to some of those. Pete Edwards says, the buzzword discussion was cathartic. Tomorrow, I return to enabling disruptive technologies that maximize consumer benefit while guaranteeing shareholder value.
yeah.
That sentence burns. It burns my stomach. So Pete obviously works in some sort of business or something where I'm sure emails go around the office with people using these buzzwords. Enabling disruptive technologies that maximize consumer benefit while guaranteeing shareholder value. Oof. That's everything right there. That's all encompassing. Gave me the shivers. Justin says, I hate leverage in the business context. At a previous job, we leveraged everything from technology to our unique position in the market segment, whatever the hell that means, to meet our customers' needs. Leverage. Yeah, leverage is another one of those sort of like marketing buzzwords, like what's our leverage to in our position and all that. One thing that is a term that maybe isn't used as often in some business spaces, but verticals. I don't know if anyone has ever really heard the term vertical, like basically leveraging technology for a unique position in the market segment. A lot of brands will come up with different verticals or strategies that they are going to be using to implement their disruptive. It's just another one of those. It's much more specific.
It's very like so far these are very like corporate.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking when
Leave it to corporate to take the soul out of words.
But there's words that make me gaggy, I guess, from like the medical standpoint. Like the word boggy.
Boggy.
Maybe you're talking about a wound being boggy.
Ugh.
Like
I've never heard this. Where are you going with this?
I'm just reflecting back on my days of when because I didn't work corporate, so I worked in the medical field, and there's some words like boggy.
I never heard you use that word. And in that context,
why do you think I don't use it? Because I hate it.
Well, I haven't.
Anyways,
least favorite word.
Yeah. Anyways, continuing on.
Rich says, pet peeves. Can we discuss the proper way to put the toilet paper roll in the holder? The sheet should pull down from the front side of the roll. Also, please put a new roll on the dispenser if you use the last of it.
Yes, Rich.
Might just be a little OCD.
The sheet should cascade over the top.
Yes. Come over. So, wall is here. Toilet paper roll is here. Kim is in the bathroom.
I'm sitting on the toilet right now.
I
should be able to.
Yeah, you basically pull from the top down, so the roll rolls out.
Thanks for putting me in the toilet.
You're welcome. Tony Lorimore says, here's a word phrase to use. Mouthfeel. 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 Yeah, that's I think that's kind of like a foodie like when people talk about like the texture of food, like the mouthfeel of a wine or, the mouthfeel of something. That muffin has good mouthfeel. You're just like, what? What?
Is there anybody in the chat room who does their toilet paper the opposite way or who just doesn't care?
Are you willing to admit it in front of a group of people?
We definitely were at someone's house.
That's right.
In recent memory.
And they did it opposite.
And it was opposite.
I couldn't understand.
You have that memory too?
I feel like I remember seeing it or something.
Yeah.
That's something that does stick out. I don't remember whose it was. It's been a long time since we've been at the house.
Totally agree. I will change the TP direction at other houses.
That's awesome.
Like to fix it or to like troll them.
I love that it would just be like, oh, no. And like changing it in their own bathroom.
I think it'd be funny.
Mm-hmm. Ingen says, guys, I'm so hungry today for no apparent reason. I'm like a bottomless pit. Yesterday was my rest day and I haven't run yet today. So it's not that. And it's real hunger, not boredom.
Then eat some food.
Eat some food, Ingen. And Ingen, you ran this weekend. Like you had a weekend of running. It usually catches up. I felt the same way. What?
There's people in the room that don't care which way the toilet paper goes.
We have an audience of monsters. We have an audience of monsters. Oh, Ingen says, my parents do it the opposite way, and I always change it at their house. John Maxwell says, I just put it on the roll. Kids take it off or mess it up anyways. So I would assume being a parent, there does come a point when you're like, I don't care.
You're probably just happy that there's toilet paper in the bathroom and your kid hasn't wasted it at all. Like,
and if there isn't a roll, you probably worry about your child not using anything.
Right.
So you always have to keep the toilet paper there. So there probably comes a point when you're like, I don't care if it's right or wrong. We'll get through it. Just as long as there's toilet paper. Amber says, I'm an attorney. I try not to use them, but my coworkers all do referencing. Where does Yuha's post? I thought I just saw Yuha's post. I was going to reference it earlier.
This post is funny.
Yuha says, I found out the girl I've started dating does it the wrong way. Haven't brought it up yet. Oh, that's man, you can't bring that up for a while. Unless it just comes up in like joking conversation, and then all of a sudden you're the neurotic one.
Matt Feldhage's comment is hilarious. Matt says, before I was married, I was an under guy. Happy to say I am still married and have since been domesticated.
Now, Matt, let me ask you. Being an under guy, was it lack of caring, or was it I specifically choose to pull from under? So was it something you were raised doing? Was it a conscious choice? Or was it, I don't care, toilet paper is toilet paper, I just pull from the wall and I use it to do my thing? I'm curious about that, because that context will sort of help shape the other thing. And I'm actually surprised, his wife is Australian, that they also pull from the top. I would think it would be opposite because they're the Southern Hemisphere. That joke was specifically for Brendan, who will probably watch this in a couple of hours. Is that booing?
We don't have Austin's boo yet, but
that
was a trombone.
Let me know when you see Feldhage's comment there. Angela just says, over is correct in all caps. Angie says, my husband used to just put it whatever way, but I think he eventually figured out that I was always changing it behind him. Okay, Matt says, I think that it's just what we did in Bumble F, Illinois when I was growing up. So you did not choose it. It chose you. Pulling from under. Yeah. And you just saying that makes me go, oh man, is this just like a privileged thing to worry about the toilet paper direction?
Hey man, at least we all have toilet paper. Am I right?
Exactly. Exactly.
It was not that long ago that we were all panicking about not having toilet paper.
When you strip it down, we're literally complaining about the direction in which you pull toilet paper off of a roll. You're lucky to have a wall to attach the toilet paper to. Matt Feldhage says, precisely. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
I got side.
That was from Rich. So, Rich, that was great. You're not OCD. You're feeling the same way everyone else seems to feel, except for Matt. Amber says, as a follow-up from my comment before, I gained a little over 1,000 feet of vert during my Tiger Claw Day run. I ended up running the hill 4 times, while my mom walked it 2.5 times. This is in reference to Sunday's Daily Brew. Amber, I believe, did the most vert that she's done or attempted to, and found a hill near her house. And for Tiger Claw Day, did some repeats on it. And we asked just, hey, what were your final stats? Because I was really curious. And she did 4 repeats of the hill, got 1,000 feet of vert. So 250-foot hill is no slouch. Like a 250-foot hill, especially doing repeats on it, it's a slog. So congrats, Amber. That is an awesome thing. And your mom did 2.5 loops. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. Now we've got some language lessons from
do you have any more pet peeves before we dive into language, or do you want to just?
Oh no,
do you want to take a language break?
No, I was just kind of going down through the comments in hierarchy, chronological order. We can go through Kyle's posts. He says, I was reminded of another buzzword, influencer.
We also dislike that word.
We also very much dislike that word. When Instagram fed me an advertisement for this list of 25 trail running influencers you should follow yesterday, while all of the people listed are certainly influential members of the trail running community, and the writers of the list had to choose some word to put all of them under a single umbrella, to me, the word influencer smells unpleasantly of corporate marketing speak and shady weight loss tea companies. Getting beyond the initial headline, though, it's actually a pretty thoughtful written post. By the way, number 7 on the list is a particularly familiar face. He has a separate comment that says, on a less grumpy note, last night I watched and quite enjoyed The Half of It, which is a sweet twist on the usual teen drama romantic comedy story. If you get a chance to see it, Kim, I'd be curious to hear your take on this portrayal of high school life in a small Pacific Northwest town.
Oh.
I believe that's that's on Netflix right now. We haven't watched it. What?
The half of it?
The half of it, yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, Kyle, in response to your influencer comment, one, the article that you're referencing, I did see. They tagged me on Instagram. It's kind of it's not a brand, mudgear.com. I don't know if it's like someone who just reviews like OCR type gear or something, but someone tagged me in the Instagram photo that they posted. It was like it felt very clickbaity. It was like the top 25 influencers from trail running, and they tagged me in it. And I was like, this feels like a clickbait article. It feels like one of those things where they just want traffic for traffic. They literally list 25 people to get those audiences to get traffic to their site. It's all very shady stuff.
Normal for those types of posts.
Very normal for that type of post. I went to the link to see why I was tagged in it, and then as I read through the 25 person list, I was actually like impressed. It's one of the few times I've ever seen a list like that where they knew the person. Like they rather than just say, Timmy Olson is an ultra runner that won Western States in 2014 or whatever, and that's it. They'd actually go into detail of like, Timmy Olson has been doing lots of amazing meditation routines. You can check out his Instagram right now. He's doing live meditation walkthroughs. Like they had really current sort of relevant stories about each of the people they listed, and they included Ginger Runner as number 7 on the list, which I was really amazed by. And he had lots of really good detailed information. He's like, check out A Decade On. It's a fantastic movie about Brian Morrison he's done. Check out Where Dreams Go to Die. He also is doing a daily live show called Daily Brew for his Patreon crew. Like they were very aware of what
was
we were
actually
doing.
Going on.
And so I was very impressed by the list. And I also had that sort of influencers. I had that sort of bad take on the original link. So I will comment that it probably wasn't the best way to phrase the list, but I get what they were trying to do.
People just use that term kind of loosey-goosey.
Yeah. So I ended up commenting on the guy's Instagram, or woman, on their Instagram post, just saying, hey, I really appreciate this list and the thoughtfulness you put into each of the posts. I didn't share it because even I was about to share it to my Instagram stories, and I was kind of like, I can't even phrase. It's hard for me to say, I hate lists like this, but this one's different, and I appreciated it, and I'm number 7. Like, it just felt too, I don't know, it felt too, like, pat myself on the back, so I didn't end up sharing it, but Kyle wrote...
I'll pat you on the back later, though.
Yeah, thanks, babe. But Kyle does have the link to the list on Sunday's
Patreon post.
Daily Brew. Yeah. So if you want to go check it out, it is a fun click. There are 25 names on that list. The order of which I'm like, this person barely posts at all. I don't know if they're really an influencer. But let's talk about ultimately what you're talking about here, the term influencer.
And also everyone's opinion about who is an influencer, who influences them is completely different, right?
I also hate the term influencer. Kim also hates the term influencer.
We've been called influencers at like an event or in an email before, and we're like, we were
in person at a company. We were there.
Oh, that's right.
And their marketing,
that's where it was.
Their marketing representative, who was there to meet us and walk us through the company and kind of give us a behind the scenes look, referred to us and introduced us around the company as influencers.
Rather than just like trail runners
or like this is Ethan and Kim. It was like,
content creators or...
these are our influencers. And I just was like...
I think we both kind of went...
we wanted to walk the F out of there. We have a friend that works at this company, and that friend was with us, and the friend was not the one using the term, so we didn't walk out. But
I almost dropped my coffee cup.
Don't do it. We have a couple extras.
There was a really funny comment, and I need to find it.
Oh man, I was so ready to walk out though. I'm like, I've put 12 years into this. You call me an influencer? Oh.
Simmer down.
It was really.
Some people might be flattered by being called an influencer, right?
Oh, but I agree with Kyle here that it has. The term refers to people who are selling like weight loss teas, and that's sort of the image that people get when,
definitely.
Sorry,
and it also has the connotation of like, are you doing free advertisement for companies?
Yeah,
whatever. Megan in the chat room says, pet peeve: Ex-husband leaving kitchen cabinets open and middle console of car open. Ex-husband. Was it because of the open cabinets? If it was, I wouldn't be mad at you.
I will close every comment.
Every comment?
Every comment. Every cupboard. Angie says, Ginger Runner, you really are influential in the running community, or at least an inspiration, which would probably be a better description. I appreciate that, Angie. And I realize that by making reviews, that's sort of influencing people's opinions about products.
That's exactly what it is.
100%. I mean, that is exactly what it is. And I totally get it. I think I was taken back by the fact that we had gone to this destination to visit this company. And rather than do real research on what we did, we were just lumped into this group with other people as influencers. We put a lot of work into this. And so I think by just distilling it down to just being an influential person at that company, it was a little like, we do a lot. Like we make movies and all that sort of thing. Music, art. I wasn't sure if the person had really researched who we were.
No, I don't think they had any idea.
That was basically it.
That's the bigger problem, is not knowing like what the person does that you're actually bringing into a company to talk with.
Yeah.
And just saying, oh, they're this.
Yeah.
Other pet peeves. We talked about it. Open cupboards is something that irks me as well.
I will close every cupboard and drawer ever.
You're usually pretty good. And when you're not, I do like a super passive aggressive thing of like, so are you done in this cupboard here? Are you done in the utensil drawer?
Yeah, I'm aware. And my normal
answer is...
very
like asshole-y of me to say that.
No, I'm still working on that.
It's usually like, oh, did I was just, well, I was doing this other thing and I was doing this.
Kim's passive aggressive is always, are you done with blank? Whatever that is. So if I have like, if I leave a wrapper somewhere, are you done with this wrapper? It's me going, yeah, I'm done with the wrapper.
You're done with the empty wrapper?
And I did not put it in the garbage. I appreciate you asking if I'm done with it. Stuff like that. It's Kim's passive aggressive way is always, are you done with whatever
Is my passive aggressive behavior your pet peeve?
Yes. No, like it's the nicest, most Canadian way of checking someone without being like whenever she does it, my default is to be like really apologetic. Like, I'm so sorry. Yes, that is my wrapper. I just wasn't thinking. I put it there. I put it in recycling or whatever. I forgot to close the door because I was doing something else.
I will also pick things out of recycling that don't belong there because I'm a rule follower.
That's my pet
you'll
peeve.
Be like, just leave it. It's fine. And I'll be like, but this tiny little like.
Well, no. It's a specific. There's a very specific thing. Paper towels that maybe we just use to dry off hands. So it's literally just water on paper towels. So I look at that and I go, yeah, recycling. It's paper. And you'll go, that's garbage.
No, compost.
Compost. Sorry, that's compost. And that's when I'll go, it's just wet paper. I would think the recycling is probably where that goes. And then Kim is like, no, it's compost. So actually, maybe this is a regional specific thing too. I'm realizing like Washington State has very
we had to like
rules.
learn a lot when we moved here from California, because California was like everything's garbage except for a few things. It was very like the recycling's here and garbage is here, and it's very wide and broad.
Yeah.
And when we came here, I had to like study the fold out thing.
Yeah, there's like an actual packet you get when you move to Washington State.
Ingen's yelling compost.
Yeah, I get that. But so this is actually an interesting question because yes, paper in compost, but paper also in recycling here.
Depends on what kind of paper.
So paper
and
towels
it's
is
used for.
Sure, let's just say drying off wet hands, not dirty hands.
I would rather put it in compost because it can be compostable, and considering the state of how backed up recycling is and how like they're always talking about problems with recycling, right. I'm just like, I'll just put it in the compost.
Oh, Deb, kind of bringing up dishes loaded incorrectly into the dishwasher.
This has been an interesting one, I think, for us.
When I load the dishwasher, and I'm not saying I do it regularly.
I do most of the kitchen stuff, including the dishwasher. But when you help, I have a bad habit of hovering. and
Are you done with,
suggesting
are you
that,
done with that there?
suggesting
No,
things
telling.
are done maybe differently.
Yeah.
And so I've been trying to work on just walking away because I appreciate when you help, but I also realize that I'm like, okay. Oh, that's okay. So I just need to like leave because you've had the conversation with me of like,
Listen, if
I'm
I'm
just gonna
doing
do it wrong. Listen.
There's also good talk here about paper towels not being recyclable. They are considered a napkin, so they go in compost as opposed to paper products that would go in recycling.
That makes sense.
Amber says, it's funny how King County has rules and Snohomish County is more lax. But Mandy says, pretty sure paper towels cannot be recycled. Other paper products are recycled into paper towels. So I'm going to take the L on this one big time. I'm thinking, I'm taking a paper towel. I just dried my hands off. I'm throwing it in recycling. That's fine. And Kim is always like, that goes in compost.
Quietly walking by the recycle bin.
And I'll always be like, why are you doing that? Like, it's just a paper towel. It can be recycled.
5 years of this.
So I have been wrong. Austin B says, Ethan, I have been known to rearrange the dishwasher after Darren loads it. So again, I when I do it, Kim has become much better about allowing me to do it.
I have to work really hard.
I know. You literally have to go to the other room.
Because I used to manage an office. So I used to manage people.
Kim used to manage people. Can I say it?
No
specifics, but like people that maybe they weren't doing as good a job as Kim in the office with the tasks.
I'm also like a terrible person that's like, I'll do a better job, so I'll just do it myself.
Exactly. And I'm the same way. I'm the same way when it comes to like editing or music. Like
I'm terrible at filming your B-roll, and so you'll be like, can you come help me film this? And we'll go outside to film it, and you'll end up filming like 60% of it yourself.
In a way, like I don't do it. Listen. I also don't do it in a way that's condescending or anything. I try to educate and try to help, and I've become better at that. But yes, it's the exact same thing. Where, and this is also the main reason why I haven't really hired anyone to help me, except for Ryan Thrower, because Ryan is a real quick learner. He's nailing it left and right. But I never hire anybody because I'm always like, it's not going to be what you want. It's not going to be what I want. It's just going to be much longer me trying to explain it. I may as well just do it myself. Very same thing with what we're talking about here. You've gotten much better about if I'm doing the dishes or loading the dishwasher, you'll go to the other room and you'll do something completely different while I do it. And a good thing with our dishwasher, it's actually a pretty decent dishwasher, despite it being probably super cheap. I grew up loading the dishwasher in a very specific way with my mom. As I become an adult, all that went out the window. I think I loaded up in a way. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And then I'll close it and just start it. And every time I unload the dishwasher, when you load it, I'm like, how the hell does she get so much stuff in here? So efficient. And I think it's because you've learned that dishwasher, exactly where things can go and all that. So I admit to not being good with the kitchen stuff.
But I also really appreciate help. So that's where the thing is of like.
Notice how the word help almost sounded like I had quotes on it. But I appreciate the help that you provide. Listen.
Anyways.
What have I missed in the chat room? Oh my God, my kids are having a picnic together in the backyard and haven't fought in over 10 minutes. Oh. I'm actually really curious. Again, you have...
Maybe you're the problem.
Yeah, is that what... I was thinking the kids, have your kids been fighting a lot since all of this has happened? This goes for anyone who's a parent.
Because we've heard like very different things.
My nieces, my sister has 2 daughters, and they have seemingly become very close.
And that's my brother and his 3 kids.
It's cool.
Too. Like, because it's like, that's all they have.
Yeah. So they have like their best friend is now their sibling, which I'm wondering, parents of multiple kids, are you seeing that trend where the siblings are becoming much more bonded, having to find entertainment with each other? Or are the ages just beyond that gap where like the older one's like, I don't want to hang out with my younger sibling, and the younger sibling's like, I want to hang out all the time with my older one, or they fight? So again, yeah, I'm curious, like having 2 daughters, are they fighting all the time or are they getting along? I'm super curious. Marie Claude says, my dad has a diagram on how to load the dishwasher. Seriously. Oh, man.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah. Amber says, Ethan and Kim, have you done that Enneagram thing to see what number you are?
I
mixed
have
feelings.
not.
Yeah, no, I don't want to touch that kind of stuff. What is it? That's like the IQ behavioral study thing, right? Like it's a test that you take.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that stuff always makes me.
Travis
think
says,
too
we
heavy.
have our ups and downs, 6-year-old daughter, 4-year-old son. Some days are really good together. Other days, they're small terrors.
Oh, man. And Austin B says, Marie Claude, oh my God, why haven't I thought of a diagram for the dishwasher? Your dad is goals. Deb Hamberlin says, my husband and daughter are at each other's throats. Oh, no. That sucks.
I don't know how old your daughter is, Deb, but like
I also
can
don't know how old
imagine
your
being
husband
like,
is.
can you imagine being like in that crappy teenager phase and being like stuck at home with your parents all the time?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my oldest sister has 3 kids, all of which are older now, but like I've been able to sort of watch them grow up. And I always, at least from the outside, felt that they had a great relationship child to parent. Like my sister was always kind of the cool parent, her and her husband. And I felt like the boys always had a great relationship with the dad, and the daughter had a great relationship with their mom or with her mom. And so it always felt like they were really well bonded, and there really wasn't that sense of, oh, I got to be around my parents. That's at least the vibe I got from those kids. Like they really enjoy being around their parents. And it was the weirdest thing to see because growing up, I remember like just not wanting nothing to do with my parents. I want to get out of the house, but I didn't want to go out of the house, but I didn't want to be near my parents. My parents are so uncool. My dad has a diagram of the dishwasher, stuff like that. So yeah, I was, Deb, I'm not going to say I can relate. I don't have kids, but I wonder if they're going through that phase. I don't know how old your daughter is. If it's just one of those like, I don't want to be near my mom and dad, or I don't want to be near my dad. I'm over it. Get me out of here.
Last pet peeve, I think, from me. I have lots actually, but the other one that bothers me, which I don't deal with here, with toilet seats being left out. You never do it. Nope. You've done it, I think, one time, and it was you being like, how did that happen?
And it was like
I was
a week
actually
ago.
even like shocked that you did it too.
Yeah, it was like a week ago, leaving the toilet seat up.
Pandemic brain.
And I think you were like, did you leave? Like, it was so much shock and awe in the house. You're like, did you leave the toilet seat up? And I went, let me see. No, this was definitely, you must have done this while like you're doing your makeup or something. Yeah, were you cleaning the toilet? I was like, this isn't me. We were both shocked for maybe 15 minutes.
It was really funny.
So I've done it once in my adult life. I don't know. I think I was trained. I lived in a house with women. Like growing up, I had 2 sisters. Not that they were at home most of the time, but like 2 sisters and a mom. And I think I was just ingrained never to leave the toilet seat up. Never. So,
because if you have ever tried to sit on a toilet with the seat up, it literally feels like you're falling 100 feet down into a bottomless hole.
Angela says it was Gus.
Oh,
poor little Gus. Ingen earlier said about her daughters, they're fighting constantly. I don't know if it's a lack of space from each other or lack of interaction with other kids. They're 3 and 5.
At least you guys have like a cute yard and stuff.
Yeah, it seems like
them, like.
I mean, 3 and 5 is like they're just below my niece's age, and I know that my youngest niece is a terror. So I wonder if it's just the ages.
And she's like 3.
Yeah.
But the older one's a little older.
My oldest niece from my sister's kids is a little bit older than 5, but they're that same sort of age, and the younger one is a terror. So I'm wondering if it's the 3 to 5 is just. I mean, they're not out of their terrible 2s yet at that point, or the horrible 4 through 7s. I don't know. Oh boy.
Mandy says, never have an issue with that here. Cat house equals seat and lid down.
Oh, yeah.
Do they get into the toilet?
Austin B says, oh my God, yes, cats love toilets.
Why? Like the water?
Yeah, why do cats love toilets?
Why don't they learn to go in the toilet?
AK Trail Runner, when I was married, my wife trained me to put the seat back down. Yep. I think it's just part of like.
I think it's how you grow up. And if you're always being told by your mom to like put the seat down, or told by your dad to put the seat down.
Andy says cats get into everything and anything.
Mm.
We don't have cats.
I've never had a cat.
Never had a cat. I grew up my brother had a cat when we were growing up. But I remember, and we have lots of friends that have cats. We have lots of friends that love cats. And every time we hear stories about the cats, it's like, your cat did what? It got into where?
Your cat's on your mantle right now?
Yeah, we have a friend who lives, she still lives in Arizona, but she's always had cats, and their cats are like always really weird and kooky and just fun characters. But there was a time when she lived in Seattle. This is back in like early 2000s. We were improv friends. Her and her husband had cats that would like sleep in their closet on the top shelf in the back corner. And I remember going to their house and being like, "Oh, where are your cats? I'd love to say hi to your cats." She's like, "Oh, come in here." And she'd like open the closet door and she'd like point into the back corner, and you'd be like, "Well, what? How the fuck did the cat get up there?" Because there's no shelves. The cat would literally climb the clothes to get up to the top shelf, and then they duck back into the back corner. And she'd be like, "Yeah, we rarely see the cat. It basically comes out for food once or twice a day, and then we'll just go back up into the corner." I just loved it up there.
I wouldn't be able to handle it. I'd be like, "No, you come love me."
I know. Yeah, I think we love dogs because dogs show us affection, whereas cats
I like having a little
piece
piece of Velcro following me around.
Yeah, not all cats are like distant, but Kim Wrinkle says cats are amazing. Kim Wrinkle has
We
an
love your
amazing
pictures
cat.
of Rocky.
Yeah, Rocky the Adventure Cat. Geeky Eleanor says, my cat today scolded me because I was hugging my husband and she was jealous. Damn, cats get catty. Heather Reed says, my cats love to watch water when the toilet is flushed. Mhm.
Oh.
All right.
Did you want to get to that?
Sure, we can kind of touch on this. So Torgeir, who's been teaching us a little bit of Norwegian through words in comments, jumped in on Sunday's show to kind of teach us a little bit more Norwegian. So Ingen, you can sit and laugh because we're going to butcher everything pretty much so much. Unlike, see, I've already forgotten the pronunciation. Yeah, either. I've already forgotten the pronunciation of some of the words. So Torgeir's talking about a word that we pronounced last time. He gave it to us. Gurisa. I don't think that's right. But unlike Gurisa, there is good words in Norwegian. Pronounced Kjæreste. Kjæreste means beloved one.
Kjæreste?
Kjæreste. Kjæreste. He has it spelled out phonetically, but even the phonetic version is hard to say. Kjæreste.
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 Uh-huh. Ingen pointed out that I said teaching us Norwegian through words.
Yep.
It's accurate. Kjæreste is spelled really uniquely. In English, it is a K, a J, the A-E letter, R-E-S-T-E, pronounced Kjæreste, means beloved one. Sa Kim din kjæreste. So Kim is your Kjæreste, beloved one. And a perfect word for the GR crew is utepils. Utepils literally means outdoor beer. It's basically the habit of enjoying a cold one outside once the weather allows it.
Utepils?
Utepils. Kristen says in the chat room, every time Ethan says something in Norwegian, he sounds like the backwards voice in David Lynch movie. Yeah. So utepils.
Utepils?
Maybe it is utepils. I don't know.
Or utepils.
Utepils. Pills, I think, is like Pilsner? Like beer? Ute? Is Ute outside? Utepils?
Ute.
Oh boy. Ingen says, that's exactly what I told him. Ingen is our resident Norwegian speaker, as is Torgeir.
Utepils.
Utepils. Utepils. Utepils. Utepils. Outdoor beer. Utepils. I like it. And Torgeir says, and the last one.
Oh my goodness.
No. He has them written out without phonetics, and he has them spelled differently. Idsiel literally translates to fire soul and is used to describe a person who is very enthusiastic and active about a cause. In Norway, being an ildsjel is such a big deal that they're giving out awards for the best ildsjäl of the year, the person whose fiery soul burned brighter and made the biggest impact in the community. That's amazing. What an amazing word. I love these words.
Say it again.
Utepils. Ildsjäl? Ildsjäl?
Iltsjäl. I can't do it.
Yeah, Inga, can you help us with this one?
Uh,
Oh, Inga says that was good, Kim. What did she say? Utepils.
Utepils. It's because I can say a boot.
A boot. Oot
and a boot.
And Inga says, you've got it. Utepils. So utepils. I hate how I'm saying it. That's my pet.
Because you're like, utepils.
Utepils. So the enunciation is on the oot, I believe. So it's utepils.
Okay, I'm gonna spell out this word.
But this word, so that one is spelled wrong. So this one, ildsjel, ildsjel, ildsjel,
ildsjel.
ildsjel, ildsjel. A lot of consonants, 2 vowels. So Kim just popped it into the chat room there. That is the word that he's talking about as being a fire.
ILLSCH.
Ilshell.
Oh, that's a pronunciation.
Ilshell. Oh man.
Ilshell. That's how those are hard.
Those are ilshell. And it's interesting to see the word with a D in it and an S and a J next to each other, and it's ilshell. Ilshell.
I think ill. Right?
Ilshell. I mean, is it as simple as just ilshell? Oh boy. Norwegian.
Très cool. Où est-ce que vous habitez? I don't know what this says.
Very cool, Marie Claude.
Where do you live?
Oh yeah, that must be French.
Where is your home?
So we're butchering Norwegian right now. We appreciate Torgeir and Ingen being patient with us and trying to learn the proper pronunciation of these words. But Torgeir, I have to say that these words are really cool. I love the idea of beloved one.
I also like brown cheese.
Shiareste.
Shiareste.
And utepils. I think those are both really great words. Ingen. Ingen says, I haven't watched the new Twin Peaks yet, but my brother says it actually makes the whole David Lynch universe make sense. Interesting. I haven't watched the new one either. We talked about watching it, and we had some friends that watched it and enjoyed it. Yep. So we're butchering Norwegian to end today's Daily Brew, but tomorrow we'll be back at 11 a.m. And any question you want to ask our viewers or listeners to jump into the comments for tomorrow's show? What are your pet peeves and what are some of the words that drive you crazy?
We already did that one. That was my
joke.
question.
That was a joke.
Do you have any topics that you want to talk about?
What is your maybe like what we've talked about food a lot on this show, but maybe what is your favorite dish that you have been maybe making more of or been passionate about since all of this has been going down? So if you've been able to cook at home, or what's sort of been your food of choice? Maybe the thing that you can go to day after day, or the thing that you've been making more of that you are enjoying. Comfort, like our comfort dish right now. Maybe what is your comfort dish? And it can be brunost. It's fine. Oh boy, Juha. Outdoor beer in Finnish is Pusikalja. Woo boy, not getting that one right anytime soon. Geeky Eleanor says, anyway, Norwegian is a super cool language. Knowing a little German, and I already read it wrong. Anyway, Norwegian is such a cool language. I read super cool language. Knowing a little of German and French, you realize how modern English was
boner.
Boner. I think that was a mistake, or not.
I don't know. Geeky Eleanor's next comment is gin and tonic. So maybe
that's in reference to what recipe or what thing is her comfort right now. Geeky Eleanor, gin and tonic. Perhaps gin and tonics are your current form of currency, Geeky Eleanor, based off of boner. We appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for being members of the GR crew. We hope that you are enjoying this as much as we are. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. for another cup of coffee with our mugs. Yeah, sorry about the Norwegian. Sorry, I'm not nailing it. And I promise I'll do the dishes better.
You do them fine if I walk away from you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.